Do you need to find all papers by a specific colleague with a common name, or maybe trace a researcher's career across multiple institutions? Well, SciX's author disambiguation tools, including ORCiD integration and co-author networks, help you find the right researcher. So let's dive into SciX to see how we can do this. Now, the example I'm going to use today is one that I heard about very, very recently. It's all about Mars quakes. So I was at a conference and people were talking about Mars quakes and how we're starting to better understand the sort of seismic activity of different planets. So I'm going to put Mars quake into our search field here, and I'm going to click on abstract, which gives us the ABS search. So again, ABS searches abstract, title, and keyword. If you want abstract only, that is a different search term. So let's search for Mars quakes and see what we can get. Now, 216 results is great. Probably, again, a pretty broad starting point for us. So perhaps if I add something like seismic to narrow it down for seismic activity. This is great because Marsquake and seismic in abstract, title, and keyword gives me 4 papers to start with, and 4 is a very reasonable amount. So what I can do with these 4 papers is start to create a library. Now, this is a collection of all of these papers. So if I select bulk actions, I can click add to library. Now, I can add it to an existing library, and if you have a project that is already ongoing and you find new papers, you may want to add those to that library. I do not have a library that addresses anything about Mars quakes and seismic activity. So perhaps, for example, if I want to use this as a literature review, I can save it as litrev, Mars quakes and seismology. In the description, perhaps I might want to add something about the search terms that I've put in so I can keep track of how I have found these papers. I can choose to make this library public as well, which I won't in this situation. And then if I click submit, these 4 papers will be added to my library. Now, the library feature is something that you will need to create a Science Explorer account for. If you are an existing ADS, Astrophysics Data System user, your login credentials for ADS are the same for Science Explorer, and all of your libraries have copied over as well. So you don't need to create any new accounts. If you're a brand new user to ADS and SciX, create an account. It is entirely free and it will unlock all of these new features for you. So I can see here that I have my library for Mars quakes and seismology. Now, the great thing here is that, as I've already said, you can choose to make these private or you can make them public. You can also add collaborators to your libraries just by heading up to the setting of a particular library, scrolling down and adding the email address and the permissions that you would like to grant to another Science Explorer user. So they will have to have an account for this. Now, if you go back to our library here, another thing that you're able to do is better understand features of the papers that are in your library. So if you click on this little drop down here, you can quickly read the abstract of each of these papers. But a feature that I particularly love is this annotation field. So you can read a paper, you can determine whether or not it is useful, you can add your notes here, and any collaborator or just to jog your own memory is able to read those notes at a later date. So as you start to add these notes, you can start to then determine which of these papers you're going to be keeping in your library, maybe which of them are less relevant and can therefore be removed. But as you start to build these up, you can create libraries for a range of different projects, and all of your collaborators are then able to add their own thoughts, decide what you want to do with these papers, whether it's a literature review. You might be collecting a bunch of papers for citations for a paper that you are writing, in which case you can export that entire bibliography and format it in the format of the journal that you're submitting to. You can even start to create living biographies for yourselves or for other people. You can start to use these libraries to better understand the impact of the work that you're doing as well. Whether that is the impact of you as an individual, the group that you're working within, maybe a collaborative group, or maybe even some of the instrumentation that you're using. Is a particular instrument, a spectrometer, or a grant that you have been using the funding of? What is the impact of that? What are the papers that have come from this one thing that unites them all? And so by creating libraries, you're not only able to keep track of papers, but you're also able to use them to better understand the impact of the work that you're doing. So that's how you can use libraries within Science Explorer.